Looks the fresher fighter.
Quando eu falei, todo mundo falou que eu tava louco. Eu falei, ninguém quis acreditar, falaram que eu tava doido. Tá aí, ó.
I don't want to wake up Harley, but holy shit. Oh, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt yourself. You riding Gaethje because he's your homie. Shut the f up. I'll ride him because he got heavy hands and he got a strong ass jaw.
Justin Gaethje is the undisputed champion of the UFC. This is a shocking result, and I have to apologize because I don't usually make picks, and I was quite confident in my pick. I thought Ilia Topuria was going to win. Justin Gaethje won that fight fair and square. It appears as though Ilia's corner called off the fight going into the 5th round, and it looked like going into the 4th round the doctor was going to call it off. In fact, it seems as though he did actually call it off at one point. He shook his head, he said Ilia couldn't see, and then Mark Goddard almost like convinced him to keep it going. It was a weird thing. They gave him more time. Seemed a little bit odd, but in the end the right man won. Justin Gaethje looked a lot bigger at 155 than Ilia. Justin Gaethje can take a punch. In the 1st round when Ilia was hitting him like a Mack truck, Gaethje was taking the shots. No one takes those shots from Ilia. And Ilia was wearing some damage, and all of a sudden, you know, he's bleeding, and all of a sudden he's getting rocked, and all of a sudden he's cut, and all of a sudden he's, you know, swelling, and all of a sudden he can't see. And we've never seen him compromise like that before. We've never seen him in trouble, struggling like that before. And so in the end, you know, I had said a million times, why would you put this unbelievable athlete who doesn't hail from America against an American who's likely going to lose? I'm going to be honest, I'm eating crow right now. Why would you put him in the main event of the White House card? And in the end, it turns out they knew what they were doing, because the American closes out the show. Unbelievable.
Ilia Topuria believed in his power, and his power failed him against Justin Gaethje. And he called it on the stool. She took my heart, Justin. Justin Gaethje beats Ilia Topuria. Ilia couldn't get off the stool. Look at his face. Look at Ilia Topuria's face in this fight. Compare it to Justin Gaethje's. Not a mark on him. Ilia's walking in round 1 getting hit by the jab. He's stinging Gaethje well. He's landing to the body. He's landing right hands over the top, and you're going, oh! Because normally when he lands those shots, the opponent is KO'd. He had a good combination in round 1 that he went for towards the end, where it looked like he actually stumbled Gaethje for a second. But Gaethje was stinging him throughout the entire round. Gaethje nearly caught him with so many head kicks in round 1. With so many head kicks in round 1 that were partially blocked by Ilia Topuria. Round 2 is where things changed. Ilia Topuria goes out there, he starts jabbing the body of Justin Gaethje, and it's a war. Both guys are landing big shots on each other. Ilia's keeping up the pressure, and he actually hurts Justin Gaethje with body shots against the cage.
But having talked to Gaethje, he said he felt good. You know, he's gonna make the weight. Weight's gonna be no problem. Then he was gonna refuel, get back up, gonna go in the ring about 180. I think he said 180, 185. But his game plan was excellent.
Yeah.
Use the jab, punish him with the jab, catch him with it coming in, and the feints. He did a great job of feinting, and when he flicked, bam! He did a great job. Justin Gaethje, congratulations.
The White House card delivered everything it promised and more, and the entire combat sports world is still processing what they just witnessed. For Dana White, this fight comes down to one simple and brutal reality. Two men with genuine knockout power, and whoever finds the other's chin first goes home with the belt.
So when you have two bad heading in to fight each other, and you know, and that is the case with Gaethje and Ilia. I mean, both guys have explosive knockout power, highlight real knockouts, and you know, it's like one of those fights. Whoever catches that chin first on Sunday night is going to win that fight.
You think people are underestimating Gaethje? I mean, he's fought literally the best guys in the world, Khabib. Are people all like underestimating him a little bit?
You know, because Ilia looks so good and whatever, but the truth of the matter is both guys have unbelievable knockout power. So whoever catches that chin first could win this fight.
Adding one final thought before fight night arrived. Alexander Volkanovski had raised the question of whether Gaethje would take a more calculated and defensive approach, shell up, drag the fight into deeper waters with Topuria rather than engaging in an open war. He gave Gaethje full credit for having the defensive awareness.
Main event, 5 rounds. Does Gaethje try and shell up, be very defensive, try and take him to deeper waters, take that power off Ilia? Knowing how powerful he is, not giving him any opportunity to land, be very defensive, maybe draw the power out of him, maybe throw a leg kick, but be really defensive while I fire it. Is that going to be his approach? I don't know. I think it might be until he's in a position where he feels like he's forced to open up, or he just opens up thinking it's the time to wear Ilia down. Let's see. But my pick is going to be Ilia, knockout in them first couple, maybe 3 rounds. That's my prediction for the main event of the White House.
Giving the highest praises for Topuria, Dana White holds nothing back when his name comes up, calling out his incredible run and placing him firmly among the pound-for-pound best fighters on the planet right now. And looking further down the road, White acknowledges what the entire MMA world has been circling around: a future collision with Islam Makhachev could define a generation.
It's on a run right now that, you know, he's obviously the, you know, you got him and Islam, pound for pound best fighters in the world. And then, you know, those two could possibly fight. So yeah, he's looking down the barrel of greatness, no doubt about it. And I believe that if Pereira wins, you know, a 3rd title in 3 different fucking weight classes, he's the GOAT.
If Topuria wins this fight, you think we could potentially see an Islam fight?
Anything's possible.
Moreover, Mighty Mouse called it before the night even began, and they were not far off. While they never dismissed Gaethje's ability to change a fight in an instant, the superior precision and overall completeness Topuria brought as an athlete was always going to be the deciding factor. They saw the knockout coming, and they were proven right.
Right now, he's probably the most complete athlete on the roster, displaying everything so far.
Pound for pound, the most powerful,
yeah,
I would say.
Yep, absolutely. I'm not rolling dice. If I had to make a pick, I got Ilia Topuria winning by knockout because that's just what he does. And I know Justin Gaethje, is Justin Gaethje going to wrestle? Is he going to kick? I'm not sure what he's going to do, but I know Ilia Topuria is going to get himself in a position where he can knock out Justin Gaethje.
Breaking down the matchup from the opening moment, TJ and his co-host get straight into what makes this fight so fascinating. Gaethje's ability to create chaos and drag opponents into a war is well documented, but TJ zeroes in on the habit that could ultimately cost him the willingness to absorb damage in pursuit of the finish, against a technical strategist as precise and calculating as Topuria, who has built his entire game around finding clean, fight-ending shots with minimal risk. That tendency becomes a serious liability rather than a strength.
This man knows what he's doing.
No, I'm asking. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. You're a champ. You could just plead the fifth.
If we're going, and this is speaking honestly, yeah, and hopefully none of these guys take this the wrong way.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not trying to bait you. You don't have to answer it, you know.
What I'm getting at, if you look at history from these guys' past few performances, the way I look at it is Topuria typically gets the fight done relatively early and clean on his part. The other side, he takes a lot of damage. He does get the win, but he takes a lot of damage in the process. You do that against a guy who's a very technical strategist when he's in there, it's hard to say that's going to be fight of the night.
The UFC White House face-off was supposed to be a formality. Instead, it turned into one of the most intense and electric stare-downs in recent memory. Ilia Topuria got in Justin Gaethje's face and left absolutely no doubt that this fight has become deeply personal. Fight night cannot come soon enough. What makes the current tension even more striking, according to Sonnen, is just how quickly everything unraveled. Topuria was sitting in front of cameras, openly expressing genuine respect for Gaethje, not just as a fighter, but as a human being. The speed at which that goodwill has completely evaporated and transformed into something far darker tells its own story, and Sonnen believes that shift is not an accident, it is the sign of a rivalry that has become deeply and genuinely personal.
You know, I actually just got back from Washington, D.C. We were in the Oval Office and we did some face-offs and we spent some time together. He said, I really like this Justin Gaethje. He said, I've always liked watching him fight, but now that I've gotten to know him, the person, aside from the athlete, I really like him. And he said, that's not going to stop me from preparing and the task at hand. Understanding that he's got to come at me with all he's got and understanding I've got to come at him with all I've got. But I like him. And it was one of these things. But I could tell that Ilia was being very sincere. And I could tell that Ilia would prefer to have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He just didn't.
With total bonuses reaching a staggering $1.65 million on the night, Ariel Helwani believes the financial motivation alone is enough to guarantee that every fighter on the card comes out swinging with something to prove. When that kind of money is on the table, standout performances don't just happen by chance. They become the mission from the moment the cage door closes.
In total, the bonuses are going to be $1.65 million of bonuses. I believe it's, let me get this right. I think it's $425 for the fight of the night bonuses, and $400 for the performance bonuses each. And obviously they're doing that to up the ante, right?
One concern Helwani raises that not many are talking about is the emotional shift Topuria showed during the face-off when he shoved Gaethje. The composure and ice-cold mentality that has defined Topuria throughout his career is one of his greatest weapons, and any sign that the personal nature of this rivalry is getting under his skin even slightly is something worth watching closely when the cage door finally closes on fight night.
I don't want to see him be too emotional. I don't want to see him fight outside of himself. That was uncommon for him. So that to me was the most newsworthy thing I thought coming out of this. Every other face-off was pretty, tame, mundane. There was no real fireworks per se, but I'm long past the point where press conference, let's rank it, let's score it, let's give it a 9 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. The personalities here, what, to me, I wanted to see how it was going to look. I wanted to see the lighting, I wanted to see the sound, I wanted to see the cameras.
With the dust now settled on one of the biggest fights in MMA, the focus immediately shifts to what comes next for both Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje. For the winner, the future is filled with massive opportunities, championship defenses, and potential super fights that could further cement their legacy. For the loser, the road back won't be easy, but in a division as competitive as lightweight, one impressive performance can quickly put a fighter back into title contention. If Topuria emerges victorious, the conversation will revolve around who can realistically challenge his dominance. Potential clashes with the division's top contenders would immediately become headline attractions as he continues building one of the most impressive resumes in the sport. On the other hand, if Gaethje gets his hand raised, it would mark the crowning achievement of a career built on toughness, excitement, and perseverance, opening the door for a new chapter as champion. So what's next for Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje? Which matchups make the most sense and who do you want to see them face next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more MMA news, fight breakdowns, and exclusive updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.